All right.
Craig and Paul, thanks for being here on the show with us tonight, guys.
Okay. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, it's our pleasure, man. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah. We know you guys. Are you guys the founders? Both the founders of the Penn, Ohio Cryptid Research. Is that right?
We are. We are. Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Tell us a little bit about that.
You want to go? Yeah. Well, let's see. 8 years. We've been to, 8 years ago. We got together one day and found out that we were both interested in cryptid research, and decided to start going out and digging around in the woods and seeing what we could find and talking to people, and started going out together, and been doing it a long time, armchair researching. So we decided to start doing field work together. So I'll let Craig do some talking here.
We're neighbors, and like Paul said, we were out talking, and he said something about the Bigfoot show that was on the night before, and that just did it, And as soon as we found out, we didn't know we were each. I've been interested in Bigfoot ever since the Patterson-Gimlin film. I was 12 years old when that come out, and I've been a believer ever since, And like I said, Paul lives across the street from me, and when we were talking, he knew of a place where had been sightings, so that was where we started our research. We went out, and the first night out, we saw eye shine and had a rock thrown at us. And that did it. That sealed the deal for me. I mean, I was a believer. I was a knower at that point. Who's in the woods throwing rocks at you at 11:30, 12 o'clock at night? And the eye shine, it was behind a tree, and it kept peeking around, and then it'd come back, and then it peeked around, and we had it pinned down with our headlamps for maybe a minute or so. And that's when, after about a minute, just above the cliff face that was in front of us, we were by a creek, and then there was a cliff face, maybe 100 feet, 150 feet up. That's when this rock comes flying right between us. Well, we left. we left. That was the only time we ever left. And
first night out, got a little spooked.
Two old fat guys jumping up real quick. I pulled a hamstring muscle jumping up out of the chair. And I told Paul, I said, everything I read, where if they start throwing rocks on you, they want you out of there. So, and then we didn't run, but we picked our stuff up and left. And then now, I mean, that was 8 years ago. We had one generation one, just a field, like, it didn't even record. You could just see night vision. We didn't have anything else, but now we've, like, through the years, we've gathered up quite a bit of equipment, and we have a little bit of technology with us and that now. So we've had, I don't know, did you get a chance to look at our Penn, Ohio Cryptid Research Facebook page?
I have not yet. I was going to ask you, do you guys have a Facebook page? So you do. Okay.
Yeah. Yes. Penn, Ohio Cryptid Research. We have a lot of our photos on there. We have some to put on too. Last summer we got some pretty good vocals, and we have to get them on there. But we've come across a lot of strange stuff in this, looking for Bigfoot.
Sorry, I was looking up your page. Go ahead.
Check it out, because all our photos and stuff are on there. We have a lot of our photos. We have some other stuff that, we didn't put on yet, but
So the first time you guys went out, you had this encounter where this creature was peeking around the tree. I forget
Yeah.
what you told me. Did you say about how high up these eyes were?
Well, it was down over a creek embankment. The embankment was probably 4.5, 5 foot down, and the eyes would have been another probably what 2 foot,
2 foot,
3 foot up above that. So it would have been approximately 7 foot up high, I would say.
It was in the creek bed.
Peeking back and forth.
Yeah.
Rock came from up on the cliff face, on the opposite side of the stream from us, which turned our attention, of course. So we swung around to look for where the rock come from, and
We can't hear you guys.
Can you
I'm
hear
sorry,
us?
I had him muted.
Oh.
I had him muted. I'm sorry. You guys are good.
okay.
Okay.
He just couldn't hear you while you're talking. My fault.
Yeah.
So back up a little bit and start like, so you guys decided to go out, you talked, you guys, you both like Bigfoot. Let's
Yeah.
go out, let's investigate. Whose idea, like, where did you go? Who picked the spot? You guys are you guys on the border of Pennsylvania, Ohio, that kind of area? I'm guessing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's a lot of activity going on there. We've heard a lot of
Yeah.
activity.
We're in Mercer County,
Okay.
Mercer County, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
We have the Shenango Reservoir here, and we've had some strange stuff happen out there too.
Yeah, it's a pretty good area. You know, we're surrounded by a lot of good area. You know, a couple hours away from, the Chestnut Ridge area, we can get there fairly quick. You know, a couple hours. Not too far from, couple hours from Erie, couple hours from Cook's Forest area. So, we're right in the middle of a lot of heavy sighting areas and stuff. So, not to mention the stuff that, the reports from our area, and the sightings that come in around here. A lot of people, of course, don't make big reports because, there's still a lot of stigma. People think you're nuts. They don't want to talk. They'll talk to you off to the side and they'll tell you their stories, and that's where we get a lot of our tips and a lot of our spots that we go to from. Just, hunters or stuff like that, guys saying, hey, I've seen some weird, things, or I've seen some of these really weird footprints. You guys want to go see them, and that's where we ended up getting some of our casts from, was from a hunter that told us about them. So, which them pictures are on Facebook.
We found several different structures, and then we've also had. I mean, we're out there. I mean, we're the one main spot where we investigate. We're about a mile in on a one-way dirt road, and then about another quarter of a mile down where it comes to a T, and then that's the end. Then it's to our back is the reservoir, and there's only one way in and one way out. So we can see once in a while, it's late at night, some parkers or something will come down, or the police or law enforcement will come down. But the one, now this happened to us twice. We were sitting out there, and we're all of a sudden, this field just starts lighting up, and then it dims back down. Then it lights up, and then it dims back down. And then this one tree starts shaking. Nothing there. Well, just the tree, it just starts. You ever see a documentary of when they harvest like walnut or nuts or pecans or something? The machine grabs a tree and just shakes the daylights out of a tree. That's what this tree was doing. One tree. And then, like I said, the field's lighting up, and then all of a sudden these shadows start moving around us. Well, Paul got lucky and caught one. And those are in our pictures too. in the one shadow, you can actually see a face in the shadow that was moving around. And this happened twice. We seen the shadows, the field light lit up, and we don't know what's going on out there. I think there's more to it than just Bigfoot, though. I think there's some extra stuff going on.
Yeah, I'm looking at the pictures right now. Like, I can kind of see which one. I think I know which ones you're talking about. They almost look like a human.
You see the field?
Shape.
You see the field lit up?
Yeah. Yep.
That's what it was doing. It started lighting up and dimming back down, and then lighting. And we're a mile in, and in the same spot we set our game trail cameras up, and we always put a camera on a camera, mainly in case somebody steals one of our cameras. We may have an idea who took our camera, but with the one in the spot now, this is out in the same area down at the other end. The one camera, there was 3 pictures. You'll see two glowing figures. Then you'll see them closer, and then right in front of the camera is 2 silhouettes of glowing figures, and then there was 150 blank pictures. The other camera that was facing that camera had nothing on it. All it had on it was a picture of Paul turning the camera on and a picture of Paul turning the camera off. It should have caught whatever made those glowing figures. And that happened twice up at that end. About 75 yards from that, a year later, we got a glowing orb that tripped the camera, and the same thing with the other camera, it caught nothing. If it would have been somebody walking through the woods with any kind of light, the other camera would have picked them up, and it didn't. We have no idea what did that.
I'm also checking out this footprint here that you guys got on this track. You actually laid a water bottle beside it. Tell me about that.
Yeah. That was up where we cast the ones. We found multiple ones up there, and they kept stepping on and off of the path into the like it was an old logging road. You couldn't even
one print in the mud, one print in the center.
It was off kilter.
It was probably about 30 yards worth of track. And they went down right into a river. And this was in
the end of April.
End of April.
1st of May, end of April. The week before, there was a foot of snow on the ground.
Yeah. So
and those 3 that are cast, that next step was into the river.
There was a good 64 or 68 inch stride between those. So
okay. Like 5 feet.
Yeah.
5.5.
Yeah, it was like
and those prints, and you can see the one.
I'm 270 pounds, and I tried bouncing myself to get myself to sink in, and I couldn't get anywhere near.
We couldn't come close.
The depth that those prints were put into the ground. So
we're both big guys, and we couldn't come close to laying down that track as deep as that track was in there.
It's
and up on top of that hill from there, that one, you see that one structure in our pictures,
the big giant A
shape, that was right up on top.
That's right above that, about 150 feet up above them tracks is where that structure was found.
We've heard vocals out there. We've heard howls, and we had a tree ripped down out there. And at the other spot, we had a tree ripped down. We come walking in to check our we always take our cameras out like right before archery season, so we're not messing with the hunters. And that's what we were doing. We were going in slow, and all of it. I mean, it happened so quick; it was unbelievable. There was just marsh, and there was a bunch of cattails, and then right behind that, this tree just starts whipping back and forth, like three moves back and snap, crack, this thing, it snapped this tree in half. And then you heard this thing take off running through the woods. It sounded like the King Kong running through the woods. We found the tree. We got a picture of the tree. It broke. It was probably about, I don't know if you can see, but it was probably about that big around. And it was a live tree. It was a live tree.
It was back before we bought a lot of the equipment we had. Now we have police body cameras. We got FLIR. We got, we have stuff now that we put on and turn on before we even go into the woods. Back then it was just
our phones. We couldn't get our phones out fast enough.
Didn't have phones out. All we had then was some trail cameras, so.
Yeah, but, in the game years, we can hear.
Yeah.
But now we've got,
now we're a little more prepared for stuff, so. But, that stuff doesn't happen.
So how often do you guys get out?
We try to get out as often as we
try to get out a couple times a week.
So we're both retired, so that's not an issue there. This year we had so much rain in this area, and we don't go out like during spring gobbler season. That's over in May, so towards the end of May. So we try to wait until that's over, unless we get a report. Then we'll go. We'll go and get a report.
If somebody calls us or tells us or something like that, we go no matter what or when. But we don't like to mess with the hunters too much.
Do you guys have hunters call you every now and then?
We have what?
You have hunters call you every now and then to tell you that they've.
I'll give you an instance. The one spot we go over in Ohio, we were walking in, and there was two young guys coming out. They were duck hunters, and we were talking. We gave them our card. That night, we got a message on our Facebook page. The one kid gave the card to his dad, and this is pretty much the gist of what he said. He said, "I'm not going to repeat this again." He said, "Because but I have to tell you what happened to me." He says, "In that area, I was hunting in there. I was hunting deer." He says, "I was in my stand. I shot the deer. I waited about 5-10 minutes to let it expire, make sure it, lay down and die." He said, "I got down, I walked to get my deer." He said, "And a Bigfoot had my deer up over its shoulder, walking out the woods with it." He said, "I never went back." He said,
I was so scared I didn't know what to do. I froze.
Yeah.
I watched it carry my deer off, and he has never hunted again.
And we found that spot. We were investigating this other spot in Mercer County, and we were set up, and this car rode by, and then it come back because he seen Paul had an emblem. We had emblems on our vehicles, Bigfoot research, and he come back and he told us he was a Navy SEAL, and he told us he had a sighting in that same area when he was a kid. That's what led us to that area where this duck hunter dad told us about it. And we got recorded whistles and wood knocks out there, and we've had, but there's so many mosquitoes out there. It's unreal. These things like eat you through your hoodie, So we got to like net up and really. There's so much swampland out there. It's just unreal. But there's a lot of action out there.
I know you said, Craig, you said after you saw the Patterson Gimlin film, you were a believer.
Oh yeah.
Was it just seeing the film and knowing that wasn't
Just
somebody in a costume?
No. I didn't think it was a costume at all. It just looked too fluid to me. It didn't look fake to me at all. I was always, from that point on, I just like in search of Leonard Nimoy. I would wait for those ones to come on, any kind of specials that had anything to do with Bigfoot. I was watching it, so.
Paul, what got you interested in Bigfoot?
Well, I was about 7 years old when Boggy Creek came out. My dad took me to the drive-in theater, and after that, I started just. You remember back in grade school, you used to get them stupid little papers where you could order all the little magazines, and you could get the cryptid monsters and stuff. That's when I started.
Mm-hmm.
I started, any of those I could get a hold of, I ordered. And ever since then, I've been reading about monsters, and then I started armchair researching, and then like I said, one day I was out here talking to Craig, and I mentioned watching Bigfoot show, and found out he watched it, and here we are. We decided to take the leap and go out in the woods and see what we could find. And yeah,
We put a lot of time in the woods.
yeah. So I had hunted all my life and fished and everything else, but I never went out Bigfooting or anything like that till we decided to give it a shot. Started out just like they did on TV, go out there and do a few whoops, see what happens. I didn't know what to do, but do some knocks on some trees, and now now we got all them photos and recordings and everything else. So, and we got people coming to us and talking to us. So, hey,
We're willing to
it's a lot of fun.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We share with everybody. I don't care. The only thing we don't share is our location.
yeah, that's
Mainly
because we don't want hoax.
Yeah. We've already found that. We found a big structure one time all built out of wire ties, zip ties.
Yeah, it was like, we were pretty sure.
Yeah.
Can you still hear us?
Yep. Can hear.
Okay.
So when you said you guys didn't get out till after May, whatever, but the whole time you're out throughout the seasons, summer, fall, maybe a little bit in the winter, are you getting interaction out there? Are they there?
Fall is the best. We have more action in the fall.
Yeah.
In the 8 years that we've been going. No, we had 1 year we didn't nothing.
Oh yeah.
We didn't have no activity. Nothing. It was nothing.
Year 5 or something.
Yeah.
4 or 5. I mean, it was just like there was nothing. Nothing. It was like there wasn't an animal in the woods even, But usually we get a lot of knocks, a lot of whoops, a lot of vocalization usually each year. So there's years when what was that? Like year 3 when we had 3 going at one time.
That was up where we got those footprints
and stuff. There's 3 of them whooping and me whooping back, and that was probably one of the best nights ever, to have 3 vocalizations just all going in this big valley, along this cliff face. It was amazing.
And then Paul downloaded an app. Like we were down in Somerset County in the what's that mountain range down there?
Forbes
National Forest, down almost in West Virginia. And we got a big track down there. We found a big track, but we had 18 recorded whistles. And Paul has downloaded an app, and like the whistles and some of the screams and stuff, he played it for the app, and the app come back unknown in that area. There was nothing in that area that should have made those sounds.
It's on YouTube. There's a link on our Facebook page. You can go and listen to the whistles.
There was 18 of them.
Yeah,
18 whistles.
So,
and again, this was late at night, like 10:30 at night. Nobody around. No, I mean, nobody. We saw one old lady going down the old dirt road, and she didn't even see us. She was looking the other way. That's the only car we saw the whole time we were in this spot investigating. And that night, we heard movement from our left, and then we heard the first whistle. Well, we didn't actually even hear the first whistle, but the recorders picked it up, and then we heard it after that, and then we think it was a Bigfoot. We didn't see it, so we're assuming it was a Bigfoot whistling. We don't know what else it could have been. It moved, and it ended up over on our right, and then that was the last we heard.
Crashing around, circling around. We've had a couple other groups from that area message us and said they had some of the greatest whistles that they've ever heard, and they've recorded whistles out of that area before, and they say they can't believe how well the recordings came out. So,
and when you're out there and you hear this stuff, it's way louder than these recorders come up. You know what I mean? Some of these recordings we have, they sound loud, but when you're there, it was really loud. You could hear. I mean, this thing was, and it was crashing through the woods. You know, I mean, you could hear it. You could hear it breaking branch going through the woods. So we've had some action, you know.
But I think fall time is probably our best.
Yeah.
Late summer and fall.
What about dogman? Have you guys had any experiences or heard anything going on around your area with a dogman?
In the area, yeah.
There's been 2 reported sightings. I'm not 100%. I'm not on 100% on the dogman page for the area. I just don't know. And like I said, I've only heard of 2 reported sightings. The one area we go to is one of the areas where both sightings have come from. And we have talked to people that say that some of the things that we've experienced, they say are more dogman related than anything other, like the
tree getting ripped
down and stuff like that.
We've heard wood knot, but they do that too. That was new to us.
So we try to keep it open. We try to keep an open mind when we go back out there. And you know what? If that's the direction it leads, so be it. I'm not closed minded to the idea. We definitely keep an open mind. I'll watch for prints, that's for sure, and anything else that, any other signs, weird things or signs that show up, I would definitely take into evidence.
Yeah. The pictures, the prints that we've found seem to be more Bigfoot related, though. They don't look like to us. They don't look like dogman. But we don't know. Like
I've done some research. The Indians that were in this area, the Seneca Indians, they have a legend. It's not really a dogman. Their legend is, I can't pronounce it, but it translates into meat you don't eat.
The Seneca Indians were here.
Seneca Indians were in this area. Their graveyard, though, they had a big graveyard, which is right in the same area. So that kind of fits in with the dogman thing. So, like I said, I do have an open mind to it. And I, more than happy to take in any evidence or anything else, so we will definitely keep an open eye for it.
We were talking to somebody about it, and I just wanted to make sure I didn't need a silver bullet in case I could, because we both take weapons. We don't want to kill Bigfoot, but we don't want to get eaten. You don't know what you're going to experience in the woods. And my motto is, I'd rather have my gun and not need it than to need my gun and not have it. So I'd take my .357, and Paul got a .45. And I just wanted to make sure we didn't have to melt down silver to put in the bullets. He said that won't work anyhow.
Yeah, no, I think regular bullets are fine for dogman.
Yeah.
What's weird about that?
I hope anyway.
What's weird about that though is you talk about Dogman, you talk about the history of the werewolf and the Rougarou and where'd that come from, and this whole silver bullet thing, and we've heard encounters where they've been shot. People have shot these things and it does nothing to them. Like especially if you shoot them in the chest, it takes like a 45 caliber size bullet or larger or a rifle to put these things down, and it sounds like it needs to be more like a headshot. But I mean, maybe silver doesn't collapse like lead does, so maybe it would actually pierce these things, their skin. Who knows? Just way out there hypothetically saying that, but you never know. I was going to ask you. Look at it. Go ahead.
Well, I look at it like this: the areas that we go. I mean, I think if something was going to happen, it would have happened by now. We've had trees ripped down in front of us, and they took off. We had a tree ripped down where we found the footprints, and it took off. We've had interactions. We've seen those shadows. We've seen the fields lighten up, the trees shaking, and nothing happened so far. So I'm kind of thinking that they might even recognize us. Here comes those two idiots again. Gonna try to fool us. So I don't know.
Yeah, at this point, they're probably just
fun doing.
Every time they see you, they're like, "Hey, let's mess with these two guys again."
Yeah.
There's those two nuts again.
Yeah.
Just throw some rocks at them. They'll leave. Don't worry about it. How big were those rocks? Could you tell how big those rocks were that you were getting thrown at you?
The very first rock they threw at us was probably about softball.
About as big as a softball. You could hear it crashing through the canopy of the trees.
Yeah.
And then thud.
And, we've had the biggest rock was probably softball and a half. And it came out of the woods and it hit and it rolled up underneath. I had a pickup truck at the time, and it hit and rolled up underneath my truck. And that was the night that the bush was moving. And I walked up. We were sitting and we were hearing these noises in the woods. I was shining my headlamp around, and I noticed this bush whipping. One branch on a bush, just whipping. So, I mean, it could have been something in the bush. So I started walking over to it to see what, thinking it's something in there or whatever. I get up to the bush, and when I get there, the bush stopped, and a rock comes flying up out of the woods and landed behind us and rolled up underneath my truck.
We had that on video too. It's recorded
on video.
There's no wind and just one limb, just going like this. One limb.
As soon as I got within like 10 feet of it, it stopped.
Yeah,
and that's when the rock come out. So.
And this is in the same area where we have those shadows with the face in it and the glowing figures. It's all in that same area. That happened,
and that's where people start saying, well, that's Dogman. That's Dogman stuff you get. That's supernatural kind of stuff, messing with you. It's Dogman stuff. So
we don't know.
God, yeah, I just don't know that if that's what it is. I know there's weird shit going on. Sorry. Weird stuff going on there, but I don't think it's Bigfoot. I don't know what it is. It's weird stuff. There's them figures, those glowing figures that you've seen, the silhouette. So
when we started out, I was looking for Bigfoot. A monkey or a primitive ape, human or something.
Yeah.
Now, after 8 years, sitting in the woods and all this stuff happening to us, we're there witnessing it. I am 100% in the I don't know what's going on camp. 100%. I don't know what is going on.
There's weird stuff going on in the woods. weird stuff.
I don't know if anybody in their right mind is going to throw rocks at somebody with a 357 and a 45 late at night. I mean, who's going to do that? And who's going to? How these things can sneak up on you too? They get close to you without you even realizing it.
We got a spot out there that you can go to with a compass. You can take 10 steps, 3 different directions, like in a triangle. You can get your compass will go 6 degrees off in each one of those positions. It'll change by 6 degrees. There's that much of a fluctuation in the magnetic field in that area out there.
Are there
Bizarre.
cave systems? Are there cave systems there? I know you said Seneca. There's Seneca caves around there.
There's limestone. There's a lot of limestone, right?
There is some old cave systems, old
Mines.
and there's some old mines in the area
There's a lot of
too.
old mining.
But a lot of them are closed off, of course, and they're on private property now, so can't get to them or anything. But they're from the old days. But yeah, and it's a lot of limestone. So, but,
well, you guys said there was a graveyard there too. I was going to ask you that earlier, but that
all the
makes a lot of
graves,
sense.
all the graves supposedly have been moved when they built the reservoir back in the 50s, right? Early 60s. Supposedly the Indians came and they moved all their ancestors, they moved all their graves and everything out. Now, it's not saying that they got everybody, but supposedly they moved them all out, but it's still labeled as, the
graveyard site,
as a burial site.
Yeah.
So,
and as the crow flies from where we have all this action, it's probably maybe 3 miles from where we have this. It's not that far,
Yeah, if that. Yeah. So
That's interesting. You guys said limestone too. I think this is like the 3rd time I've heard this before, that Bigfoots may be attracted to limestone for the mineral, something in the mineral. Brian, I know we had talked to a couple guys in Michigan that, remember the guy with the 8-foot electric fence? He had limestone on his property. We were just at Salt Fork, Ohio Bigfoot Conference, and Dr. I can't remember his name. Sarmiento is his last name.
Oh yeah,
Big in the Bigfoot world. He was sitting beside us at the bar and was talking about, we were talking about some encounters heavy in that area. It's like, there's a lot of limestone around here. Okay.
Yeah.
So they're attracted to that mineral for some reason. So that does make a lot of sense, right?
It could be. Yeah, we just don't know.
Say limestone and moving water creates a lot of energy and stores a lot of energy as well. That's you get a lot of ley lines in the area as well, which hold energy, which is what birds and animals use for navigation purposes. So, we know we're heavy with ley lines in this area. So, but yeah, with the limestone and the underground waterways and all the underground springs around here, yeah, I have no doubt it has something to do with that. Yeah, it is crazy though. It's crazy that there's so much of a concentration of this stuff in that one area. So we're lucky enough to live close to it. So
yeah, and the reason I asked you about Dogman is, how far are you from Youngstown?
We could be there in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So there
15,
used to be
20.
steel mills in Youngstown. Are there still?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, pretty much where we all made our living.
Yeah, we're both getting pensions from the steel mill.
Okay, well, we had a guy that had a scary Dogman encounter at one of the abandoned steel mills back in the day. Just so I was wondering.
I heard about that. They were in the plant. It was an old abandoned plant, and they were running from it. They got up high. I heard that story.
Yeah. Train came by and blew its whistle, and the thing took off. That's
the
only thing that saved them.
Yeah, that's pretty much saved them when the train blew the whistle.
Yeah, so I just wonder, you guys aren't far from there. A lot of activity going on there for sure. Did you guys ever make it over to the Salt Fork Bigfoot Conference? You're not too far from there, are you?
No, we haven't been.
No,
to that
we
one.
haven't been to that one.
We-
We tried to get tickets last year, or the year before.
Yeah, we missed the boat.
We missed the boat on the tickets.
It went quick.
Yeah.
But we've gone to the Marionville one. We've gone to that one. We've been up to New York. We met Chautauqua. We met Paul Bartholomew and Stephen Calls up there, and Doug Waller. Doug Waller. We met him. We showed them some of our evidence they had. They were pretty impressed with it, you know.
So
Yep.
you guys feel the same about? You said you are more confused, like we are. Brian and I'll say the same thing. We're more confused about Bigfoot than when we first started, although we do feel like we know a lot more.
Yeah.
Do you guys?
Oh yeah.
Do you guys feel the same about Bigfoot? You're both just confused. You don't know what to think. Do you think there's
We're
some
still
kind
looking
of,
for them.
is there some
Yeah.
supernatural ability to this creature, or what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I don't think I no longer think that it's just a simple ape. I don't think that whatsoever anymore. There is way more intelligence there than what I thought to begin with. That's for sure.
We'd have found them by now.
If it was just
A dumb monkey in the woods.
Yeah.
Somebody would have found them,
yeah,
and they haven't.
there's way more going on there than what we think.
Yeah.
Way more.
I think there's a little bit of juice in their veins going through there, because they got more. There's more to it than meets the eye. There has to be. We'd have found them. There's a lot of people, a lot of hunters, a lot of people in the woods looking for them. A lot of equipment, drones. People got drones and all kinds of equipment now, and they still can't catch it. What? I think there's more going on than just a dumb monkey in the woods.
Yeah.
I'd bet $1.25.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, if they can do that cloaking thing, they can always be hidden, right? I mean, they're
Yeah.
masters of their domain. Besides eating and reproducing, I think their main goal is to avoid human activity. But I also think that they're interested enough in us where they, come look in people's houses and sneak around at nighttime, and they know so much more about us than we do them, obviously, and that helps them
Yeah.
hide from us. That's what they're good at.
And that's what we do. We when we go out, we're not going to sneak up on one, So we go out and we make a little bit of noise, and then we just sit in a chair. We're way back in the woods, nobody around, and just talk. And
You're in their house. You go out there. You're in their house. They know you're there. They know where everything is. You don't. They're yeah.
And they wanted. They're curious. I think they're curious. They come and check you out. But yeah, they not all the time, but sometimes, and it's worth it. We're both kind of adrenaline junkies, anyhow. When the tornado warnings or severe thunderstorm warnings are up, I usually beat Paul out, or he beats me out on the front porch, and we're out there. Everybody else is in the basement. We're on the front porch looking for the storm. So we're kind of like got adrenaline junkie in us, anyhow. So and this is perfect for us.
Don't you think it's more than just a simple ape?
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, there's more to it than that. It's got some capabilities that we're not aware of.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, over 10,000 sightings, right? Recorded or
Right.
told in the United States alone. Over the past how many years, and more keep showing up. Eventually, I think.
Not to mention the ones that aren't reported. How many people don't say anything?
Yeah. How many go on? Well, we know of a couple that went unreported because the Navy SEAL and the one, and then the duck hunter's dad, they didn't report it. I mean, there's tons of them that aren't reported.
I'd say 1 out of every 3 might be reported. So there's probably out of every 2.
You might be right. Yeah, that might be a good figure to start with. Yep.
You guys ever think about camping out overnight in your area?
We have camped out,
Okay.
but most of the time we'll go out early, do a little bit of investigating, look for some evidence, look the shoreline, see if we can find any prints. Then we'll get all our equipment set up for the night, and then we usually stay until. I mean, it's like fishing; it doesn't happen all the time, But if stuff's happening, we'll stay, and when it's over, then we just come home because it's not that far from our house, so we can be at our spots, and the furthest spot, we can be up in 45 minutes away at the most. So.
Do you have woods around your house?
Yeah, we're pretty rural.
Yeah.
I mean, we live in town.
Well, we got one red light. We got one red light.
We have one red light in town.
So
in a gas station now.
In a gas station. Yeah.
These things
We
might
just got a
follow you
gas
guys home one day. You never know.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm
they've been
surprised they
reported
haven't.
sightings
I investigated a sighting.
half-mile from our house,
Yeah, a couple blocks from my house. I investigated a sighting.
and the sightings go back over 40 years.
Yeah.
They run along the river is only about a half a mile from us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In railroad tracks in the river. So, and we know they go back at least 40 years to sighting.
You guys should sit out there on those railroad tracks late at night. I heard that they use railroad tracks like crazy it's an easy path, right? And it's hidden most of the time. And they do follow rivers and streams. We know that. I mean, that's how they make their ways, right? So,
cool. Yeah, that's where I investigated the site.
I think there's something with the swamps too. I think they like swamps. We've had a lot of action around swamps. 2 different places we go, there's swamps, and we've had action there.
That's why I've heard the minerals and that you can get from swamps, you get from the vegetation and the food that you can get from swamps.
Frogs and everything. I mean,
I
think they would eat just about anything. I think they
need.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, you guys keep hanging out there and hanging out in the railroad tracks and the river, and sooner or later you're going to get a good sighting, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We've had eye shine twice. We've seen eye shine twice. We've had rocks thrown at us 5 times, and we've had 2 trees ripped down. And we've had whistles, knocks, howls. I mean, we
just need a good sit-down interview now.
Yeah. we need that Bigfoot that's on YouTube or on Facebook. He's running through the woods talking with the.
Yeah.
You ever seen him?
Oh yeah.
We need that one to come along. We'll get a good interview.
Right on. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Was there anything else you guys want to cover before we end this show here tonight? Or Brian, do you have any more questions for the guys?
I don't think so.
We're just a couple rednecks from small town out looking for Bigfoot and having a good time.
That's awesome. You're right in the middle of it. Like I said, you got the railroad tracks and everything close by.
How's that the only thing you have is a Facebook page? Do you have a YouTube channel? Do you have anything else going on?
No, that's it. No, that's about it right now. Okay. Yeah.
So it's Penn, Ohio Cryptid Research on Facebook. You guys can look that up and give them a like and a follow, and
check out their pictures. I got some really cool pictures.
Yeah, those creepy ghost-looking ones, whatever they are. Who knows?
Yeah,
but,
we don't know what they are. We're not claiming they're any. I mean,
you never know.
We're more than
open. Probably aliens. You never know.
Yeah, who knows?
We don't know. Do you see the glowing figures?
Yeah,
more than open for people to go on and.
Actually, I'd like to ask the listeners to go and check that out and give us let us know what you think.
Give us please.
And that one shadow, you can actually see the eyes, the nose, and the mouth, and I mean, and they were moving around. It was only not one. There was like multiple ones of those moving around us when that field was lighting up.
Wow.
We don't know. We have no idea. And then we seen it again one other time. It happened to us twice in 8 years. So, yeah.
Wow. Well, guys, we want to thank you so much for being with us tonight and hanging out and talking about your experiences.
Yeah. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, anytime, man. Let us stay in touch. Let us know if you find anything else.
Definitely.
Hey,
Okay.
yeah, you got our info. Let us know. We'll, at the end of
Something
the
happens,
season,
we'll get in touch.
we'll get in touch with you.
Yeah, stay in touch. Let us know.
All right. You guys
Okay.
be safe
All right.
out there and watch out for them rocks.
Yeah, guys, be safe.
All right,
Thanks
you
again.
too.
All right. Take care,
Hey.
guys. Thanks.
We'll see ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.